welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I'm covering Ladies of London, Season 1, Episode 4, Mad as a Hatter. Man, I love this show so much. It's so good. This is the kind of episode that I just love to watch. I've watched this series like 4 times all the way through. I love the ladies, I love the cast, I love the houses, I love London. So let's get into it. We start off the episode at Juliette's house. So, of course, Juliette's still mad about the fight with Annabelle. She's saying that she doesn't need Caprice to back Annabelle up in these situations. Annabelle's a big girl. She's saying that friendships change and being a mom comes first. And we see her beautiful children here. So cute. Then we go over to Annabelle's house in Chelsea. She's visited by Caroline. They're talking about, the argument. Annabelle's saying the way she walked out and started screaming abuse at me. And I have to say, I'm still on Juliette's side here. I didn't like that Juliette chased Annabelle out of the restaurant. That's probably not cool, and I think that's Annabelle's point. But I thought Annabelle acted like a snob at the party. I love Caroline. She's my girl. She's trying to make everything better between the two of them. You can tell she's talking about how pissed she was at Caprice, Caroline is. She doesn't like other people jumping into people's arguments. I don't think her behavior was right on any level. And I agree with Caroline. I love Caroline. So we go to the OK Magazine photo shoot and we get to see Caprice. And again, my opinion on everybody changes a lot, so you can't trust me. It's going to change again. But Caprice really bothers me this episode. She's so full of herself. She's at this photo shoot. She's with her publicist. She's talking about how busy she is. Poor thing. Caprice is saying, I'm going to be gone for 3 months and come back with 2 little babies. Okay, I should make fun of that. That's big. But she's going on about how busy she is and how Ty's worried about her schedule. Ugh, woe is me. She gets on the phone with Julie. I kept thinking Julie was more of a fixture next season. No, it's this season. Of course, next episode, we're going to see a lot more of Julie. Lady of Sandwich. I'm sorry, I can't say that name without laughing, but we'll get into her. Then we get scenes like this. Oh my gosh. I love it. Look at how beautiful it is. Whatever road that is, that's where I want to live. Let's have a meetup. And we'll meet right here on this street. My God, I want to go there so bad. That's beautiful. Do we have any Londoners listening? Where is this place? This is where I want to live. Could somebody help me out with an apartment here? Anyway, I just love this about this franchise. You get shots like this, and I just think it's so beautiful. So we see Juliette going to meet her husband, Gregor. I just want to say it with a Scottish accent. Gregor, although he's American. At a pub, and you guys, look at this pub. I'm obsessed. I'm sorry, I will go on and on about London. I love it there. This is beautiful. Sigh. Anyway, so she goes to meet her husband, Gregor, and they talk about the situation with Annabelle, and Gregor seems way more level-headed than Juliette does. He has a funny line here. He says, usually when you go off on someone, you're right, but your manner is usually intolerable. I think that pretty much sums up Juliette. Before I thought I didn't like her. I'm liking her more on this watch through, and I'm sure it'll change, but I do like her husband, Gregor. He seems like a level-headed guy, and they seem to have a happy relationship, so that's good. She calls Caroline, and Caroline's just trying to help her mend things with Annabelle. That's basically what I was saying, which was Juliette probably shouldn't have followed her out of the restaurant to have the confrontation, but I don't know. I love Caroline. She invites Caroline to a hat party. They're going to a horse race, and Juliette's invited this hatter over to help the ladies with hat etiquette, and it's a hat party. So she's inviting Caroline, who says, I don't like hats, but I will come for you. So it's the afternoon of Juliette's hat party, and only on this show can you say this sentence. We get to meet Pip, the milliner, the hat maker, and she's an interesting character. I looked her up online. Looks like she takes private appointments and invites people over for tea so they can look at her hats and request hats and stuff. But here's her designs. What did you guys think? Are you hat people? I guess in America we're just not used to that sort of thing. Don't judge me, but I actually love this weird bow hat on Noelle. I know, where would I ever wear it? But I thought it was really cool looking. So the ladies arrive, of course. They're trying on hats. They're talking about it. Caprice arrives with Julie Montagu. And they're talking to Noelle. And we'll see more about that later. The Hatter is trying to help everybody. She ends up talking to Caprice. Asks her if she ever wears hats. And Caprice is like, no, never. Which I thought was kind of rude to the Hatter. Caprice and Julie are I think Julie's clueless, but Caprice is just kind of standoffish. She's still obviously pissed at Caroline. She's headed over to the other room. I think they just want to be away from each other. So this is where my opinion from Caprice comes from. Just a sec, she's invited to this party. She's kind of being a bitch. She says things like, I don't give a shit about hats. Well, I don't give a shit about hats either, but if somebody invited me to a hat party, I'm going to smile, I'm going to put one on my head, I'm probably going to buy one that I'll never wear. That's just what you do. So she's just being stuck up. She goes into the other room with Julie Montagu here. Of course, Noelle follows her, and Noelle's saying, I work in fashion. I'd like to build a brand like Caprice has. I have to be, she said she'd like to be there herself one day. Caprice is saying, in this country, the press can build you up or tear you down. And here we go. Here's what Caprice says to camera. Noelle wants to be famous. Noelle wants to be really good. She wants a really good continuous press. If she were a smart cookie, she'd work so damn hard to be my best friend because I have done it. Oh my gosh, seriously? What a thing to say. Way to kiss your own ass, Caprice, seriously. So Juliette comes over to get to know Julie a little bit better. They get to talk, and turns out they're from the same area in America, from Chicago, outside of Chicago. And they're bonding over American things. And Caprice is still being a shitbag. She's saying things like, I'm surprised they're from the same place. They're like chalk and cheese. What? They're bonding over Cheez-Its and Duncan Hines, and the whole time Caprice is rolling her eyes and being a bitch. They're kind of giving Juliette a hard time for planning the event last minute. Caprice says, I'm watching Caroline, and it's like this whole confrontation never happened. I'm disappointed and I'm shocked. Caroline's saying, it's a shame Caprice had to leave early. I don't think she was in the mood. I love Caroline. So that's it for the party. It's the next day. We see Noelle and Scott looking at flats, and they found this flat for $10,000 a month. Oh, this was in 2014, so I can only imagine what it goes for now. She's very excited because they're going to be moving in together. She's been staying with a friend and been waiting to move in with him. She says he's the poorest of all the husbands. Of course, there's still that scandal that he might be hiding a shitload of money. Hello, she's with him. She's got to know that he's got a shitload of money hidden somewhere that he's hiding from his ex-wife. Just a guess. So it's today the Conchita Perez Show, and that's the one that Annabelle is helping put on. She's helping this unknown designer get more recognition by bringing out press and models and things like that. You talk about shit show, look at this. The ceiling is leaking because they decided to do it in this grungy tunnel. Annabelle can only talk about Alexander McQueen, and I'm not trying to be insensitive. I understand that it was a huge loss, but my God, every other sentence is about McQueen. She says this is reminiscent of early McQueen. But they're looking at this tarp, and look, it looks like it's about to explode. Look at Marissa's face. That's my face. Holy cow. I just kept waiting for one of these models to slip down in a puddle. Look at that. Would you guys want to walk in that? P.S. What is this stuff that these models are wearing? I don't get this fashion at all. So then we see Caroline and Caprice in the road here, and it is a showdown. Can we just talk about Caroline for a second? Look at this. She makes jean shorts look so fantastic. I love her fashion. Look at that purse. I believe that's the Birkin bag. It looks like it's one of those crazy expensive ones. It's beautiful. This is where things get interesting. Caprice is saying, Juliette was having such a go at Annabelle and her character. Why didn't you say anything? And Caroline saying, I don't know why you got so involved. And I agree with Caroline. I know, I'm Team Caroline, but I can't help it. Caprice is saying Juliette was really having a go at her. And Caroline saying, why do all of us have to get involved like fishwives? What? I love that. I remember that line. Fishwives? It's not my fight. Why do I have to get involved? You can agree to disagree. I don't need to jump up and down and screech. I don't have to think the same way as you, and vice versa. Caprice to camera says, after I told Caroline I was pregnant, Caroline offered to throw me a baby shower at her house. I'm starting to see her in a totally different light. Ooh, this is where things get good. So they're looking at baby stuff. And it's revealed that Caroline has very generously offered to throw Caprice a baby shower at her home. Her home's in Surrey. There's some dispute about how far out of London it is. It sounds like it's about 35 minutes away. Caprice thinks it's at the end of the world. So Caroline says, are you going to do a list? I'm very happy to put it in with the invitation. Caprice says, you were so generous to offer this, but at least with my friends, it's just a little bit challenging to get them all the way out to your house in Surrey. Woo, dig. I just think outside of London, everybody freaks out. And to camera, she's saying, I live almost an hour away. She's saying, maybe we could go to a restaurant instead. So I don't know baby shower etiquette, but I don't know. I get that Caprice should have a say because it's her baby shower, but she's being rude. Caroline's offering to throw her one at her house in Surrey. And obviously Caroline's got a beautiful house. It's a very generous offer. If Caprice felt like that, why not just have a second one at a restaurant if she's just dying to do that? What's the big deal? That way the friends that couldn't make it out to Surrey can just meet at a restaurant like she's saying. I just think she's kind of being an asshole here. So Caroline's saying, I don't want to do it at a restaurant. I'm happy in my house where I have everything prepared there. Caprice says, I think it's just easier to have it at a restaurant in London. It's not the end of the world. I thought that was kind of a shitty response. It's not the end of the world. You don't say that to somebody throwing a party for you, a very generous gift. I understand it's her shower. Again, have a second one if you want to do it a different way. I don't know how you argue with somebody that's trying to do this nice thing for you. Caprice to camera is saying, this is a celebration to honor my children. If I want to have the shower on the moon, who cares? Whatever, Caprice. So we go over to Noelle, who is turbo pissed at Scott. She calls Marissa to vent, and basically it sounds like they were supposed to be moving into their flat today, but it's not going to be ready till Monday. All of her stuff is packed, and her friend is more put out because she has to say. Marissa to camera said, is there a legal issue delaying the move? Funds frozen? Not want an ex-wife to figure out where he's moving? Noelle saying the whole point is I need him to come through to restore my trust. So I mentioned this in the other episode. We're operating on trying not to spoil what's happening because some people are watching this for the first time. This one I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it does not work out well for them. I don't think anybody will be shocked by that. Unfortunately, he did pass away, but they had broken up before that. And it's tragic and it's awful. We don't have to go into that. But they were not together, it sounds like, at the time he passed away. So we have this very awkward scene with Noelle and Scott. They're there to get a bottle of wine. Noelle is super annoyed. Living through Scott's divorce has been a series of blows, is what she's saying. Scott says, I'm just asking you to wait till Monday. Noelle says, I'm always bearing with you. I need to know that when you say I'm taking care of this, that you're the man and you're going to take care of this. So I do get her point. That sucks. Now, this sucks fighting with your significant other in public. So they're trying to keep it quiet, but clearly they're annoyed with each other. And they try to resolve it at the end. They give a hug. They try to go get a glass of wine or something to blow this off. And supposedly they're going to move in on Monday. We'll see. So it's the day of the race. And this is the event that they're looking at hats for. And everybody's dressed up fancy. And they're going to watch the horse race. I do not love Marissa's hat here, but I do like the dress. I think it's really pretty. I think most of the ladies look beautiful. So they're getting into this huge limo to go to this horse race, and I don't know why, that just made me laugh. I don't know why Juliette does this to her hair. She likes to tuck half of it under and have the other half kind of dangling down. I don't love that look. But anyway, so they're in this huge limo, and here's where the shit goes down between Juliette and Caprice. So Caprice brings up Annabelle. There's a personality conflict. She felt like she was being attacked. Juliette saying she was rude to me. I felt no guilt on the way I called her out, on the way I was treated, and how she left the party. It was just arrogant and rude, so I don't feel bad. So again, my personal feeling is I'm on side Juliette here. I thought Annabelle was rude at Juliette's party. Now, the part where Juliette screwed up is chasing her out. You know, I don't know that that's the best thing to do, but I think Caprice is being rude again here, bringing this up. Annabelle's not even there. Juliette is sitting right next to her, and she's yelling at Juliette about how Annabelle treated her at her own party. I just think that's kind of crappy. So this is where I like Juliette, because she's saying, Caprice, you keep defending her, and you're putting me down the way that you're doing it. Caprice is saying, I'm not putting you down. I'm recommending if you guys want to be amicable, if you want to have world war, then do your thing. So they get out of the car and they finally hug. They agree to make up and just to enjoy the day together. Caprice to camera is saying, I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. I want to try to resolve this. I don't know. I think she just likes to get involved. So they go into the horse race, and some of the ladies go to bed, and Julie, Montagu, and Caprice break off to have some lunch. Caprice is saying, it needed to be said. Julie says, Caprice, you weren't attacking. I think Julie's kind of up Caprice's ass in this scene. Just my feeling. So there's a funny scene here where they're horse betting. Marissa thinks that she's won. Some guys behind her have to explain, nope, you didn't win. Everyone kind of sits. They watch the horses. Then we kind of we get to know a little bit about Julie here. So Earl and Countess of Sandwich are her in-laws. Sandwich? I love it. Sandwich. Okay. They're her in-laws, and she's inviting everyone out to the estate. Again, I thought this happened season 2. I totally forgot this was season 1. So she's kind of a friend of. She's inviting everybody out to the estate, and everybody's intrigued by it because eventually she and her husband will be the Earl and Countess of Sandwich. So we will see more about this. Of course, next episode is huge. I love it. I'm excited we get to go see this castle or whatever it is. But we will see more about this, you know, how this runs and how Julie helps run it with her husband and all this. Everybody's intrigued with this whole Count and Countess thing. All I can think of is Countess Luann. So then we see the preview for the next episode. We see the estate here. It's beautiful. Jealous. Caroline and Caprice are just butting heads. They're at odds. They're not talking to each other. It's a whole thing. We see a really funny scene of Marissa here shooting skeet. I think that's a hilarious picture. Julie gives everybody a heads up that they will be having venison for dinner. Of course, this sets everybody off into a tizzy. They freak out. They don't want to eat deer. Annabelle and Juliette finally have a conversation. We'll see how that goes. And then it's like the ladies split off. I mean, they're already kind of fractured. I want to be in bed with these ladies. This is the fun group, if you ask me. I don't understand why Noelle's there, because I feel like she's probably going to run back and tell Caprice everything that was said. So that is it for the episode. I went long on this one because I could talk about Ladies of London all day long. I am so excited to get into the next episode where they go to the estate. I know some shenanigans ensue. I just can't wait. I love talking about this. Please leave your comments below. Let me know your thoughts. I'm dying to know which ladies you love, which ones you don't love. What are your thoughts? Do you want to meet up in London? I'm teasing. This is just such a fantastic show. I love it. You can leave me comments below. I read them all. You can find me on Twitter at Real Recaps. And I thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. I cover all the different Real Housewives, so follow me, watch everything I put out, give me a thumbs up. I'll take it all. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.